Hi guys. So I've done some more with my empty casings. These are now that I reloaded last time, being cleaned. Use my ultrasonic cleaner with some citric acid in it. I only have all of this left. That's not what this video is about. I'm gonna make this video about the blog post I posted on my webpage haggebanke.se. It's about this might only be interesting for people in Sweden, but probably for other people as well. So the post is about how to start your own shooting club in Sweden, and the reason I have fun firearms is not that I do IPSC or anything like that. It's because I got tired of FUDs and started my own shooting club back about 10 years ago, and I made up my own shooting rulebook that said that Henrik can shoot with whatever the fuck he wants. And yeah, so the reason you might want to do this is the same. Boring people that hate fun, basically. So yeah, that and elitism, circle jerkism in certain shooting federations. And yeah, old man drama in shooting clubs and along shooting ranges. Old man drama is much worse than female drama. So anyway, so what you do is you get 5, preferably more friends. You meet up and then you have a constitutional meeting. And I have examples in this blog post on how to do this. You have to do it by the book, basically. And you have to have statutes for the shooting club you're starting. And you should use the standard statutes from the Swedish Sports Shooting Federation, or Sportskytteförbundet in Swedish. I have a link to it as well in the blog post. And if you just want to do the regular shooting, that's you don't have to listen to this. But if you do want to have fun firearms and anything shooting is fun and not something that you do by a very stiff rule book, then you should use your own shooting rule book. And I'll link mine that you're free to copy and use if you want to. And just edit it to fit your needs, or copy it straight away. I don't care. Just change the name of the shooting club to whatever you choose. And I have it linked as well in the blog post. And yeah, and after that you'll contact the tax agency in Sweden, and you need an organizational number, and it's a specific application which I've linked as well. When you get the organization number, you get a bank account. You go to whatever bank if you like and get a bank account for your club. You need to be 2 people. Then you have to be the chairman of the club, ordföranden, and then the guy, the cashier or the kassör of the club. You have to appoint someone to be that. And those 2 people is making like a firm, or firma in Swedish. Yeah. Rules and regulations. The really hard part comes now. You have to somehow beg, cry, or rent a shooting range. You have to get a piece of paper that says this club has access to this shooting range, and this shooting range has to be. You have to be allowed to use the firearms that you want to use on it. So you can't just get like a shotgun skeet range and then afterwards try to get a license for a regular rifle or handgun or something. That it doesn't work that way. You have to be able to actually have to have a need for it. You can't just get a fun firearm. You have to do this, be serious about this if you really want to do this. So get access to a shooting range, and then you have to at least during the shortest amount of time is 6 months from that you start your shooting club, that you have to do regular practice. Go out every weekend and have fun with your friends, get more people to join you, make up competitions with this rulebook you made up, or shoot with the regular shooting federation rulebooks. Just go out and have fun, enjoy shooting sports in general. Go out and shoot, basically, and then write protocols of everything you do. Who was the leader of the event? What did you do? Which time? Which place? Everything. Who was the attendees? All that. As much information as possible. Save all of this. Everything you do, save it, write it down, save it. And then and about once a month you hold a board meeting. If you get new members, you vote them in and stuff like that. Basically, and write everything down as well. Yeah. And after 6 months, if you have members that are over 6 months, depending on what you choose, so according to the law, if you're being a member of a shooting club for 6 months, then you can apply for a rifle for sport shooting purposes. And a rifle is anything meant to be shot with 2 hands. That is not full auto. So semi-auto bolt action doesn't matter. So according to the rule book, if it's a national shooting federation rule book, that you and if it's that, you have to do some shooting tests or whatever. But if you have your own rule book, you set up your own criteria basically. I recommend that you have some kind of shooting proficiency test, because the police is going to ask for that. And of course you have to be an active member. That will also be something that the police look for. So stipulate that you perhaps have to been shooting for at least 6 months. You have to be an active member, define what an active member is, and then some kind of test that is actually proficient with the firearm, he or she. So then you can write a föreningsintyg, which is a piece of paper you send to the police. I have an example of how to write this for your own rule book in the blog post as well. And when the police gets that, it's going to ask the chairman of the shooting club or the secretary of the shooting club that might send in this to the police a lot of questions about the shooting club, and then you just answer all those questions and you should be fine. But really the most important thing is to get the paper that you have access to a shooting range and actually have access to that shooting range, and just do everything by the book. And the best tips I can give you is, if you go about doing this, make sure you have as many people as possible that have experience with board work for shooting clubs or any non-profit organizations or like union work or anything where you have board meetings and you do things by the book and write protocols and all that. Because if you're like 20 years old and want to do this because it's fun, don't do it. Get someone grown up to help you in that case. Get together a good bunch of serious people if you really want to do this, and go about this very, very serious. But yeah, the main hurdles is addressed in this blog post. And if you really want to do this and you have more questions, post comments below and I'll answer them as best I can. Okay, I hope also, by the way, if you're part of a regular shooting club right now that want to have this own rule book I've been talking about, fritt gevär, which it's usually called in Swedish, just copy my rule book that is linked in the blog post, which I should have linked to in the description. And just follow those steps in the instructions. Okay, well, I've been babbling long enough.